microorganisms whose natural habitat is terrestrial and which are able to grow in the medium without seawater and can tolerate high salt concentration. The next point is purification of water or water purification strategies to be followed in the purification to purify the water from pollutants. Various methods of purification have been developed which depends on the amount and character of water. This is that is whether the water is for a single household of a town or city. Disinfection is the only treatment required for water from property constructed wells. Municipal water supplies, however, require a number of treatments. Three principal methods of purification of water are sedimentation, filtration, and disinfection. The domestic as well as municipal purification of drinking water is particularly conducted using two types of method, that is removal of suspended matter and organisms by killing of microorganisms. The removal of solids and microorganisms in water is done by sedimentation, coagulation, filtration, reverse osmosis. That is sedimentation, filtration methods. Coagulation and reverse osmosis also are incorporated in the removal. The suspended matters and organisms are removed by sedimentation, coagulation, filtration, and dissolved solids are removed by reverse osmosis. The particulate matter or microorganisms in water are stored in reservoir, and in the sedimentation method, the particulate matter and microorganisms in the water stored in the reservoir or natural lakes undergo sedimentation naturally due to gravitational force, which greatly improves the quality of water. This process reduces the suspended matter and microorganisms to about 50%. Sedimentation is also commonly used in the sewage treatment processes. It is most easy, safe, and cheap method. Use of alum enhances the rate of sedimentation in the sedimentation process. In this stage, the water is run into a large tank or in the reservoirs where it is allowed to stand for the suspended matter to settle out. Since this is the very slow process, it may be enhanced by addition of chemical coagulants such as aluminum sulfate or alum, which reacts with the alkaline salt and produces insoluble gelatinous aluminum hydroxide. The insoluble material rapidly settles out, carrying within bacteria and other particulate matter in suspension. The other methods is coagulation. The common practice in many large cities is to introduce a coagulating agent before sedimentation. The most commonly used coagulant is aluminum sulfate or ferrous sulfate. In alkaline waters, this compound is rapidly converted into colloidal gels or flakes. In the water, if the water is allowed to stand in the sedimentation tank, the flake soon settles down at the bottom, taking with it suspended matter and microorganisms. The next is the filtration method, in which this is the second stage of the purification, in which sand filters are used. There are two types of sand filters, that is slow sand filters and rapid sand filters. When the slow sand filters are employed, it is usually not necessary to add chemical coagulants. The slimy gelatinous film soon forms on the surface of the sand. The film acts as a filtering medium, removing bacteria and other suspended matter. The coagulant forms a mat or floke on the surface. The filtering surface eventually becomes too thick and must be removed. In the rapid sand filters or rapid method, the coagulant forms a mat or floke on the surface of the sand, which acts as a filtering medium. It should remove bacteria and particles of similar size. Since this type of filter can handle more water per surface area than the slow type, it is extensively used. Slow sand filters can filter at best up to 5 million gallons of water per acre per day. slow sand filters are clogged by turbid water. Rapid sand filters are usually operated in factories so that some may be in operation while others are being cleaned. This they are nearly as effective as slow sand filters but operate at 50 times faster than the slow sand filters. Rapid sand filters are capable of delivering 150 to 200 millions gallon of water per acre per day. They require a much smaller area of land for more water filtration and cost much less to install and maintain. Filtration beds are constructed with layers of small stones, gravels, and sand. These are called sand filters, which drains with the drains at the bottom. The slow sand filters are used for filtration of relatively clean water, whereas rapid sand filters are used for filtration of water immediately after chemical coagulation. Different types of filters such as porcelain filters, diatomous earth filters, treated grass filters, asbestos filters are commonly used to purify water in homes, hospitals, and offices. Ultra filters such as Collodion, polypore filters, and millipore filters are widely used in the water purification assembly. In addition to filtration, compounds such as activated carbon may be added to minimize undesirable taste, odor, and color in the filtration process. Then the next step is the reverse osmosis. Use of reverse osmosis or RO is one of the advanced and promising technique as it is highly selective in removal of dissolved matter, particularly the excess and harmful minerals. The water is forced to the through a semi-permeable membrane, that is cellulose acetate membrane, under high pressure up to or greater than 1500 psi. The membrane allows passing of water but excludes the majority of dissolved solids, discrete and particulate organic material, proteins, bacteria, viruses are also excluded in the RO. Then the stages that come are disinfection or killing of microorganisms in water. The microorganisms in water are killed or disinfected. The water purified by normal filtration process may contain some harmful bacteria in it. These bacteria must be killed in order to make the water safe for drinking or potable. What microorganisms in water can be killed by using physical or chemical methods. The chemicals used for killing these bacteria are known as disinfectants and the process is known as disinfection. The physical methods used for killing of microorganisms is safe and cheaper than that of the chemical methods, and the methods used are boiling of water, most commonly used method. Most common bacteria present in water except the spores can be destroyed by boiling the water for 15 minutes at boiling temperature. It, it is one of the oldest and effective method of disinfection used in homes and particularly during the epidemics of severe waterborne diseases. Boiling the large quantity of water is not economically feasible, hence this method cannot be used for disinfecting public supplies. Use of copper containers is also traditionally safe for drinking water at homes used. This is the simplest and easy and economic method to save storage of drinking water. Copper ions are released into the water which play antimicrobial role against microorganisms in water, including pathogens. The heavy metal ion decreases the activity of enzyme, thereby decreasing the rate of metabolic reaction. They may also disturb the cell membrane. The antimicrobial activity of copper metal can be demonstrated by inoculating culture of test organism on the nutrient agar plate and placing a sterile copper coin at, at the center of the plate. Zone of inhibition of growth is observed around the copper coin. This phenomena is known as oligodynamic action, which gives you the disinfection of water. Then use of UV or treatment with UV for disinfection of water using physical methods. Ultraviolet rays are invisible light rays having wavelength of about 1000 to 4000 Armstrong unit. They are basically found in sunlight but can also be produced by passing electric current to mercury into mercury enclosed in quartz bulb. Most effective UV radiation are those ranging between 2600 to 2700 Armstrong unit. Highest bactericidal efficiency of UV radiation is at 2650 Armstrong unit. These rays are highly effective in killing all types of bacteria. The water to be treated with UV rays should be clear before treatment. Water is passed around quartz bulbs emitting such rays up to a distance of 10 centimeter for effective penetration. This is the costly method and very tedious method of disinfection by using physical methods. Then we will discuss about the chemical methods of disinfection. The most popular and most common is use of chlorination. Chlorination is almost universally used for disinfecting public water supplies. It is cheap, reliable, and easily applicable method. The only disadvantage is that when used in the greater amounts, it imparts bitter and unacceptable taste to the water. The chlorine is applied to the water either in liquid chlorine form or in the chlorine gas. It can be used. It can also be applied as a hypochlorites or chlorimides. Various commercial products of chlorines are available in markets such as Medichlor for domestic application. When chlorine is added in water, it forms hypochlorous acid, which further decomposes and produces nascent oxygen, the strong oxidizing agent. It causes inactivation of cellular biomolecules, particularly proteins and nucleic acid. Moreover, chlorine will immediately react with ammonia present in the water to form various chloramines. The chloramines so formed are stable and found to pose disinfecting properties. The hypochlorites and chloramines are also applied directly into water as disinfectants. The dose of chlorine, the amount of chlorine required to add in water depends upon the organic matter or inorganic impurities present in the water. The dose which leaves residual of about 0.2 milligrams per liter is selected. The total dose minus the free residual will automatically represent the chlorine demand of the water. Then ozonization is the next method used for disinfection of water. Ozone gas is faint blue colored with pungent odor. It is excellent disinfectant. Ozone gas is unstable allotropic form of oxygen, which each molecule of ozone contains 3 oxygen atoms. It can be produced by passing a high tension electric current through a stream of air in closed container. Because of its instability, ozone readily breaks into normal oxygen and releases a nascent oxygen. This nascent oxygen reduced from the ozone acts as a powerful oxidizing agent and removes organic matter as well as bacteria from water. About 2 to 3 ppm of ozone is generally consumed so as to obtain residual ozone of 0.1 ppm after the contact period of about 10 minutes. The advantages and disadvantages of using ozone are there. Ozone is advantages that ozone is being unstable. Nothing remains in water by the time it reaches to distribution system. Ozone removes the color, odor, and taste from the water, and adding, in addition to removing bacteria from it. Ozonization, what ozonized water becomes tasty, pleasant, unlike the chlorinated water which becomes bitter. The disadvantages of this method is that ozonization is costly than chlorination and other available methods. Ozone needs electricity for its manufacture, and hence it can only be used when electricity is available and easily and cheaply. Complicated ozone manufacturing apparatus called ozonizer is required to be installed at the treatment plant because it cannot be supplied in cylinders as the chlorine can be. It is relatively less efficient than chlorine in killing bacteria. So these are the disinfection methods of water. Now we'll discuss about some of the waterborne diseases.